on Monty Hall and then yet again on Desperado for the last match, and maybe if he can do that, he can take back the match. But you know, I would almost, as a form of protest, just walk out. I guess that wouldn't make sense because he obviously still is with the chance. He still is not out of the competition. But I think it's terribly unfair, and I think it's terribly lame of Bisu to do that. And he just lost. I don't care how good he is at StarCraft, but he certainly lost all my respect by using that maneuver. So anyway, enough of that. Enough of my whining. Sorry about that. But the next match is going to be on Monty Hall, or Monty Python as I like to call it, which is a shit map. And again, I'm really sorry I cursed. Sorry. I've got to keep control of that. Anyway, it's a horrible map, and I don't like it at all. And but it does make for genuinely interesting games on occasion, especially between Terran and Protoss. It is horribly imbalanced versus Zergs, but I think the balance between Terran and Protoss is fairly even. And again, I think if Hwasin tries to be cute, I think he made a mistake going for the cuteness on Loki, and ultimately he paid the price for that. I think if he tries to be cute, he will lose and he will go out. I'm pretty sure Bisu is going to go for the one gate into Nexus and go for a fast expand, and I think that's what Hwasin needs to do. He needs to go for that fast expand. Not necessarily 14cc, but I think even 14cc is a viable strategy on this map, but I think one barracks into CC definitely he needs to go for. And the other thing that both players, especially Hwasin, will need to do is scout exhaustively. Hwasin needs to scout exhaustively on this map to make sure that Bisu just doesn't get in by the back door and win the game that way. And it does look like we are just about ready to start the matchup now. I'd love to know how what the MSL commentators are saying. They're probably just saying that Kesp allows it. Gravity, I feel that probe jump is different because, you know, in that case it was a blocked off ramp. It was a block that Hwasin had built, and it was a solid block. And you know, the probe shouldn't have been able to jump over it. And I think that I do feel that should be against the rules, because the whole point of blocking, I mean, that's a viable strategy. Blocking your ramp is a strategy you use to stop your opponent from scouting a base. And if you've got a couple of buildings there blocking that ramp, then the opponent's units should not be able to get through that and scout inside your base, because that means that invalidates a lot of strategies. It invalidates the whole surprise factor, the whole surprise rush, which is what Hwasin was trying to do. The fact that Bisu could get through that block means that there is no way Hwasin can hide his tech from Bisu, which is incredibly unfair. If you invest the resources, if you build stuff at your ramp, you should be able to deny your opponent the scout. That's the way I see it. And unfortunately, he wasn't able to do that. So I do feel that Hwasin should be able to deny the scout. I do feel Hwasin shouldn't have persisted with that strategy, even though he was behind. I think he could have come back. I think he could have come back and won in the end, because he could have still had two expos that he could defend relatively easily, and I think he would have still been able to survive had he done that. I think he was a bit silly in persisting and trying to go with that strategy, and obviously once Bisu had scouted it so early in the game, it was not going to pay off. So here we go. It looks like the fourth game is finally going to start up. I am quite hopeless at this point for Hwasin. I do think Bisu is going to win comfortably this time around. I think Hwasin's will is probably broken, and I think once you get pissed off about something like this, once you get really angry about something like this, like you know, we see in maybe tennis games or whatever, the player loses their concentration, they're not able to concentrate anymore, and we've seen it before in StarCraft. We've seen when Light complained to Bisu, he didn't come back after that, versus Bisu, he didn't come back after that game, although in that game I felt Light's complaint wasn't justified. It was his own fault that he wasn't prepared for the matchup and for the map, and I don't feel his complaint was justified. So the score stands at 2-1, and I really think, again, that match should have been replayed. But anyway, here we go. We're starting up now on Monty Hall, and 2-1-0. Sorry, for a second there I wasn't going to give the countdown, but hopefully you guys are all synced in now. So anyway, we're starting up on Monty Hall, and Bisu is in the top left corner of the map, and Hwasin is on the bottom right. As I said, expansions are key. Early expansions are key. If you expand early, you're more than likely going to win the game, assuming you don't get cheesed, and you scout and make sure you don't get cheesed. Protoss cheese is a prominent factor on this map. It's so easy to do, and it's so effective because it's very different. It's very difficult to scout that cheese, and it looks like Bisu might actually be going for that cheese. It looks like it's Bisu's turn to cheese. Bisu sending that probe out very early. I don't think the purpose of that probe is to purely scout. He sent one of his first probes out. He sacrificed a little bit of economy in order to do that, and there can be only one reason for that, is that Bisu is going to cheese rush. Bisu is going to cheese rush Hwasin, and this is going to be ridiculous. If Hwasin doesn't scout this, he is screwed. He's going to be out of this tournament before he knows it, and This is very reminiscent of that matchup that we saw versus Nada, where he was proxied, and I believe it was TT Shine who did that versus Nada. TT from Sangsang Khan managed to do that versus Nada, and Hwasin needs to scout. Bisu is setting up that pylon at a proxy position, so Hwasin is going to find himself in a huge trouble, especially if he's going for 14cc. I don't think he's going to be that foolish, though. I don't think he's going to go for 14cc, but if he does do that, he's going to find himself in a world of trouble. He's setting that first supply depot up at that mineral line so to be able to scout, and I guess it's gonna. If Hwasin goes for barracks into command center, he might find himself at a huge disadvantage, and he might not be able to survive. And Bisu's going for a very early rush here. He's going to get that gateway up quite early, and Bisu has planted that gateway down, so Hwasin's going to find himself in a huge world of trouble if he doesn't scout this. He certainly hasn't started scouting at all in this game so far. He is putting that first barracks up now, and I guess he wouldn't anticipate to scout this early because Protoss players do like to fast expand on this map, and there's no way that Hwasin would know that this is coming in. Bisu's going to have his Zealot out before Hwasin even finishes his barracks. This is going to be a really early rush from Bisu, and I just feel like crying right now for Hwasin because Hwasin is going to lose this game. There's nothing he's going to be able to do. I honestly think he's not going to be able to stop this rush because Bisu has already got that first gateway up. Almost. He's going to have that second gateway up in a second, and his units are going to stream into Hwasin's base before Hwasin, while Hwasin is still building his factory, and Hwasin is going to be forced to fight with STVs against Bisu's units. And it looks like Hwasin might be going for that command center, or is he going for the scout? I hope he goes towards the top. If he goes towards the middle, he's not going to find out what Bisu's doing, because by the time he actually manages to get that STV in Bisu's base, Bisu's Zealot is already going to be inside his base. It's going to be too late. And Bisu is setting up. Bisu's setting up an entirely new base there. Hwasin will find out what Bisu is doing. That Bisu is trying to proxy once he gets into Bisu's base. Although, that being said, that's not necessarily the case. He might just go in Bisu's base and assume that Bisu's fast expanding. But it doesn't matter. Bisu's got his Zealot out. That Zealot is going to be inside Hwasin's base before Hwasin knows it. Hwasin is going to be in huge trouble now because Bisu is going to be inside his base. Hwasin needs to build a bunker the moment he sees that Zealot. And my stream has just frozen. I'm sorry. I think it might buffering. It's not buffering. And Hwasin now finally knows what's coming. He needs to build a bunker straight away. And Hwasin's starting up his factory. And Bisu's going to be able to harass him a lot. Hwasin's going to be forced to micro here. And Bisu's actually teching as well. So not only is he rushing, he's teching. He's got a proxy tech up there. So his plan is to try and slow Hwasin down as much as possible with that Zealot. And that's exactly what he's doing. He's trying to take out that SCV that's going for that factory there. Hwasin is defending successfully. Bisu's going to have a second Zealot in his base now, and that's going to be very difficult for Hwasin to defend once Bisu gets the second Zealot in. And Hwasin managed to kill off that first Zealot, only losing a single Marine in the process. So that was excellent defending by Hwasin. And Bisu's got his second Zealot in now, and Hwasin knows that the proxy. Hwasin is proxying on his own. Hwasin is building a proxy factory. Brilliant counter attempt to counter by Hwasin. He's building a second factory, but it doesn't matter because Bisu's getting that cybernetic score up, and I think Bisu might actually go for tech here, although it's possible he might go for dragoons. But Hwasin, he has still not built a bunker. I really think he would have been better off building a bunker. Hwasin, brilliant micro, moving those 3 Marines excellently there, stopping Bisu from getting in. Bisu though is going to get that third Zealot in now, but Hwasin has built up a few, and the fact that Zealot has been slowed by a split second getting into Hwasin's main means that Hwasin is going to be able to do some damage. Hwasin trying to take that probe out to stop Bisu's Zealot from getting in, and Hwasin brilliantly takes down the probe. So Bisu is not going to be able to get in to Hwasin's base, but Bisu's now got that robotics facility building. I'm sure Hwasin was expecting probably a 2-gate attack. I don't think he knows, unless he scouts, he needs to get something through himself. He needs to use the SCV trick to get a Marine through, or get an SCV through and find out what Hwasin is up to and what Bisu is up to. It looks like Bisu might be going for a nexus here. Bisu might be looking to expand down the south of the map. That's what I would predict he's doing when he's sending those in. And Hwasin is going to float that factory over, and Bisu, unfortunately, because he's gone for the south, might not scout that factory. If Bisu doesn't scout this factory, he is screwed. He's got nothing in his base, and Hwasin might actually win this game. Oh my god, I'm going to absolutely love it. I'm going to actually allow Monty Hall to live if Hwasin can win this game. Bisu is actually building a gateway and a Citadel of Adon in his main though. I'm not sure if it's going to be enough because that gateway isn't even finished yet, and Hwasin is going to have his vulture pop out before that gateway finishes, and then Bisu is going to find himself in a world of trouble, and Hwasin's vulture is out. Bisu is going to find his economy in loads of trouble. Bisu though has got that probe down around the south lane at the bottom of the map, and Hwasin now has got his vulture, and Bisu is going to be forced to fight that vulture against probes, and that's not going to be very effective. Hwasin is going to have his second vulture in the second now, and Bisu's economy taking a significant hit. This is going to impair his ability to fight. Hwasin didn't lose much in terms of economy to Bisu's Zealot rush, and Bisu unable to do anything in it, and Hwasin's got 2 vultures out now, and you've got to feel that one gateway which is still not finished. Bisu does though have that robotic support bay up, so we can expect a reroll drop in Hwasin's base pretty soon. I'm not sure what Hwasin has to be able to defend that. Bisu is just going to drop a Dragoon in Hwasin's base, and Hwasin is just killing off all of Bisu's probes, so Bisu's economy is in tatters. If he's not able to do something here, he's going to lose his game. Bisu is not actually going for that drop in Hwasin's main. He's actually going to try and defend his own main. Hwasin obviously does not have Spider Mine, so Bisu's Dragoon should be able to fight those vultures, but Bisu's economy is in tatters. You've got to feel Hwasin has won this game. You've got to feel that Bisu's lost all his drones. Bisu calls GG. That was amazing. Yes, I am so happy. I am just absolutely ecstatic and overwhelmed. I could orgasm. That was absolutely insane. Yes, well played, Hwasin. and serves you right, you cheating loser lamer. Well played, Hwasin. GG. This is Klazart, guys. I'm going to take a break. Well played. I'm going to take a break and I'll be back for the next game, and hopefully Bisu goes out. He deserved to lose that. He totally deserved to lose that. Though that was just lameness by him the previous game. Well played, Hwasin. Come on. I'm going to take a break.